Welcome to the Acushnet community testing site. This is our 20th community testing opportunity that we're providing for the residents. We've had as many as 300 people move through here in 3 hours and as few as a couple of dozen. But this team that I'll talk to you about in a minute is committed to keeping testing going for as long as there's a nostril that wants to be tested. And it's proving to be a true benefit to this community as we work our way out of this pandemic crisis. So let me introduce to all of you who is here, Dr. Paula Bailey, the Superintendent of Schools, Julie Hebert, the Town Administrator, State Rep Chris Hendricks, and then the members of the Board of Selectmen, David DeRoche, David Wona, and the Chairman, Kevin Gaspar. So I want to take a minute before we bring up these gentlemen to make some presentation to Team Acushnet and just talk about where we are and where we've been. Think back to March of last year. A year ago today, there had been one death in the state of Massachusetts from COVID-19, and there were no cases of COVID in the town of Acushnet. 1 year later, we have 1,152 people in town have contracted COVID-19. Several of our Team Acushnet personnel also tested positive and had to fight the virus as well. And we're very thankful that all of them made out well, relatively minor cases. And there's been many deaths in town. And we mourn all of those. We mourn the lives that have been turned upside down. If you are a parent of a school-aged child, Dr. Bailey, you know the stress that the kids are going through, the parents are going through. If you own a business in this town, you know the stress that they've gone through. This has truly affected every single life in the town of Acushnet, in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, in the United States, and the world. We are part of this global pandemic. So for those 1,152 folks in town who have suffered with the illness, for those who have lost loved ones, some of our teammates have lost family members due to COVID-19. And for all those lives that are turned upside down, I just ask for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. So let's talk about testing. We're here because of the trailer. The trailer is giving us a great opportunity to be more mobile with our testing opportunities. And I want to thank the Board of Selectmen for their leadership on getting us this trailer. We knew that we started in October back in the parking lot when the weather was nice. We knew we were going to get into a rough spot, and Dr. Bailey was able to bail us out of that so that we weren't standing in the freezing rain and snow and cold doing testing. We were able to use the school, but we thought there would be an additional asset of having some mobility. And we went to the selectmen with a plan. They immediately agreed. They saw the value in a trailer. We asked for a budget. We came in under budget, which we're very happy to do. I'm very glad that happened. And now the trailer is being used on a regular basis. At the Council on Aging on Fridays, we'll be using it for continuing the testing of the teachers, which we've been doing since September. When the kids come back to school, we don't want to test inside the school. We're going to lose the opportunity with the classrooms, so we'll be using the trailer. So this trailer, which looks great, by the way, we want to. If you saw it when it came here, it came originally mocked up for the University of Rhode Island, but it looks much better now. Anything that says Acushnet is a lot better than anything that says Rhode Island, in my opinion. But let's talk about the tests. We've had 6,154 PCR tests as of today. 6,154 vials have gone off to a lab in New Jersey. 989 antibody tests, that's the test of the blood to see whether or not you have the antibody from the virus, and 1,930 rapid tests, for a grand total of 9,073 tests performed by these folks since September. Remember now, the population of Acushnet is 10,000. So we're fast approaching 10,000 tests, which is truly a remarkable feat, given where we were a year ago. And again, the Board of Selectmen made testing a priority. So the funding is there, the assets are here, and the personnel is here. And that's what we're really here to celebrate today, is the personnel and all the human effort. What they would tell you is that this has been pretty fun. We've gotten to know quite a few of the people that come in on a regular basis. Mr. and Mrs. Robitaille here, who are in the cold, come every week. Mrs. Lever comes every week. We just had the Francois family come through around 10 o'clock. The other half of the family will be by around 11. If we don't see them, we start getting worried, because it's we develop friendships with these folks, and we're seeing them on a regular basis, and we hope to continue to see them as this progresses as well. So this has been a true labor of love. Everyone here has been truly committed to getting as much testing as possible. At the end of this presentation, we're going to pivot and talk about vaccination. But Representative, when you go back to Boston, know that every person here has considered the testing to be the minor leagues. We're waiting to play in the big leagues, and we're waiting to give out the vaccine locally, and we're ready. This is the all-star team that would pull that off, and we're more than ready, willing, and obviously very capable of doing that. So we'll talk to you about that in a little bit. So it's my pleasure to introduce to you the three members of the Board of Selectmen. We'll start with the chairman of the board, Mr. Kevin Gasper.
Thank you, Chief. A few short words to the community and to all of you folks. We couldn't have done this without you. It's an extraordinary effort by fire, EMS, police, and EMA, our volunteers. They're incredible individuals. We love you all for doing what you're doing and protecting our community. We thank you all for protecting our community. We look forward to, if we're given the opportunity, to start providing vaccinations to our community, which we should be able to do, because you, the team, have clearly proved that we are worthy and capable of doing so. So we would hope that we could do that for our community, provide our community with safe vaccinations. And the testing that you have done is truly commendable. And I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Fire Chief Gallagher. His extraordinary efforts in coordinating all of this and bringing this team together has truly been second to none. He stepped up to the plate without any hesitation to start doing the testing in Acushnet. And I want to thank him very much, and everybody in our community for their efforts in coming out and getting tested to keep everybody else safe in the community is truly instrumental and incredible. So thank you all very much, and thank you to all of you volunteers. From the bottom of my heart, it's so much appreciated for what you've done for our community, and it's nice to be a small town where everybody comes together for one effort, and that's to keep everybody safe from this pandemic. So truly, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Selectman David DeRoche.
Thank you very much, Steve. I can't believe it's almost been a year. Next week will be 1 year since we declared the state of emergency in the town of Acushnet. And throughout that whole time, we talked about the testing, but I'd just like to touch upon another element that was brought up earlier this year, through the Council on Aging and Heather Sylvia, because the COVID affected people not only medically, but it affected people economically. And back in April or May, a program was started at the Council on Aging to help the citizens of Acushnet who lost their jobs and needed financial help. So I'd like to give a round of applause to Team Acushnet, the volunteers at the Council on Aging, and all the work that they did for the summer. It was quite different than it is today. Some of those days were 90, 95 degrees, standing in the parking lots, handing out food. And the program became very, very successful. Every week we were servicing over 200 Acushnet families with food that was much needed during that time. So I'd just like to thank, once again, Team Acushnet for all the help with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Selectman. And finally, the to what you spoke about. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Selectman David Wona.
Thanks, Chief. It's already been said, but perhaps the best part of this job is the ability to say thank you. Thank you to a number of dedicated folks here. Chief Richmond, you should be up here because as police chief, your folks on the ground, our police officers are very much part of this process, and thank you, and to your team for being involved in this effort to keep people safe. Day-to-day frontline workers are critically important. I think what is really indicative of this town is just sort of the all hands on deck approach. So we've got the public safety piece of it, right? But then you've got folks at town hall who are processing the paperwork to make sure that the CARES Act money keeps moving in the right direction. The Board of Selectmen, we looked at the hospitality industry and we took some action to help them. One of our small businesses stubbed their toe, and Representative Hendricks got on the phone to try and take care of that. So we've looked at this from a real all hands on deck approach to make sure that our residents are safe, but also things keep moving in the right direction on a day to day. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you to all of you who are involved in keeping the community safe, but also keeping the community running and keeping things going as smoothly as possible. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Wona. The selectmen have citations that they would like to present. So instead of reading, I'm not going to read all of them. I'll read the one, and then we'll read out the names and ask you to come forward to receive your citation. This is Town of Acushnet Board of Selectmen official citation. Be it known that the Acushnet Board of Selectmen hereby extends its thankfulness to, and Mr. Gasper will read the name, in recognition of your selfish dedication and commitment to the town of Acushnet and the residents during the COVID-19 pandemic. Your efforts kept our residents safe, and for that we are most grateful. We commend you for all your hard work. Presented this day, March 6, 2021. So, Mr. Chairman.
Puts me on the spot when I told him I didn't bring my glasses.
Mine's fogging up.
I'll do my best. Duncan Murray? Gary Mello? The lovely Heather Sylvia? Eric Chu? Jerry Sunick. From EMA as well, Ed Karen. Mr. Jerry Bergeron, our EMA director. Heather Francois Vaughn. Courtney Rittenhouse. From our fire and EMS department, Eric Aruda. Laurie Gonzalez. Miss Wendy Ashworth. and Christine Gonzalez. Thank you. And to the leader of the operation, Fire Chief Kevin Gallen.
Thank you. On behalf of everyone that received a citation today, thank you, gentlemen. Greatly appreciate it. I was going to say that Heather Sylvia is the glue that holds this all together. And I was thinking that she was actually turning into the mom of Acushnet. But I'm thinking more big sister. She's the big sister of Acushnet. Truly, for what Heather has done over the years for the seniors in town and built the Council on Aging to being one of the gems that it is, and then taking on such responsibility with testing and vaccination. She's the one that's been driving this, and when that happens, it's going to be because of her and her counterparts in Fairhaven, and the amount of time that she gives to helping the folks in Acushnet, seniors and others. Can't be described. And Heather, you've always had our respect and appreciation, but more so now, more than ever. Thank you very, very much.
Here, here. Here, here.
So I'd like to introduce for a few words our host for the last several weeks, Dr. Paula Bailey.
Thank you. I'll be very brief, but I wanted to echo the sentiments of everyone here today and express my sincere appreciation for all that the fire department, the EMS, and the town has done to really come together to support the schools. They have been here each and every Wednesday to test our teachers. They've given teachers a peace of mind, and when teachers feel good, that trickles down to our children and our students. And again, the schools have been a safe place because of the support that we've received from all of you. So if we could just have a nice round of applause, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. So happy that, we're a year into this now, but we're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel. Starting Monday, our grade 2 students will be coming back to school 4 days a week. We will phase in all the other grades, and by April 5th, all of our students, K through 8, will be back to school 5 days a week. And that is because of the support of all of you. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Dr. Bailey. It is my pleasure to introduce to you someone that I consider to be a true champion for the town of Acushnet. There are elected officials, and then there are the elected officials who get it. And State Representative Chris Hendricks gets it. He has been by our side every single thing that we've asked for from the state. He's been there to help champion and to push for. And without him on Beacon Hill taking care of us, we wouldn't be able to do the job that we're doing at the local level. Ladies and gentlemen, State Representative Christopher Hendricks.
Thank you, Chief. Let me just first say that I want to give everyone an update on how vaccinations are going to be going. But this is my first term. I just finished my first term doing this, and to get a perspective on the folks in Acushnet and how they're able to navigate, especially at a time like this, is just really it's amazing. What the Chief and the Board of Selectmen have been able to do is just, to get this infrastructure in place with the testing, with the vaccines coming up, like he said, the major leagues coming up. That it just really is remarkable. And being from New Bedford, you don't really see, how towns work and how you can get things done in town. And, this is a great example of the town and the Chief doing, so much with so little. During a hell on earth pandemic. So I'd just like to give a nice round of applause again to them. It's a lot going on, with the testing. I think one of the reasons why Acushnet was pulled out of the red, why Acushnet is doing well, is because of the testing infrastructure that we put in place. And again, that's a testament to the organizational skills we have here in town. A lot of our focus up in the State House and with my constituents has been trying to get prioritization levels going. So, we've been trying to get teachers for the past 2 months, trying like hell to get teachers prioritized for the vaccine. And thankfully, last week, the governor came out with his press release saying that as of March 11th, teachers will be eligible for the vaccine. Now, that obviously comes with a few caveats. Regardless of who's prioritized, we have work to do regarding, inventory and just dosage. But when you have a town like this doing all the work to get their people vaccinated, like the chief said, there's only 10,000 people here. It's a tough window, but it's a small window we need to go through here. So I think it's doable. And especially when a town has pulled their resources like Acushnet has in getting the infrastructure in place. When those doses do come available, we're going to try fight tooth and nail to make sure these doses come here to Acushnet so we can use this thing, this amazing piece of work we have here. So we know with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, many of you know that's a one-dose vaccine that we are getting in the month of March. We're getting 58,000 doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
We'll take 10.
Yeah, right, exactly, and that's exactly the point. We have, like I said, very small population here, and I think we can get it done with the leadership that we've had here. According to state officials and the health department, we're not set to get another round of doses of the Johnson & Johnson vaccine until the end of this month or latest early April. So this, despite the good news that there's light at the, there's a lot of work to be done. We're not out of the woods yet. So, which is why, I'm so grateful. I'm sure the town of Acushnet is grateful to have, this leadership here. Dr. Bailey mentioned getting the teachers and the kids back full time, and that's been a priority of ours, getting teachers vaccinated. So I just wanted to thank you. All the work that's been going on here. Please. Stay focused. We're almost at the end here. I think once a month or two comes, the doses will be coming in more regularly. And I think we've heard from the state administration, federal administrations that getting the right people prioritized for the vaccine is the way to go. And again, just thank you so much to the chief, the board of selectmen, Julie, Dr. Bailey, and the EMS. You guys have been amazing, Chief Richmond. I'm so impressed with everything that's going on here in Acushnet, and I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and for the people of the 11th Bristol District, to thank you, Chief, and the Board of Selectmen for all the work you've done.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. We are out of the red. We were in the red for 13 consecutive weeks. And that finally broke Thursday when the report came out that we're in the yellow. And that really is a testimony to the hard work of the people of Acushnet for taking this seriously and staying safe. So we will end. You folks are in the sun, we're in the shade. It's kind of cold over here, and we've got residents who are waiting to get tested. But I want to leave you with this. We get an awful lot of mail. We get an awful lot of phone calls and text messages and Facebook posts thanking us. But I wanted to share this with the crew. This was a note that came in this week. Just a note to thank you for all your work on the COVID-19. You are truly appreciated in this town. Please do not give up. Now it's written by Bernice Forcier, who says she is 79 years old. Mrs. Forcier, we're not going to give up. We would never give up on anybody in this town. Vaccines are next. We're looking forward to that. Thank you for coming today, and you'll be seeing the trail all around town. Thank you all.